Welcome back everybody, it's range test day. Hopefully this goes okay. I'm range testing eBike 2, at eBike 2 on battery only. What I mean is I'm going to go, I've got a full battery, it's currently reading, well, my full battery, it's about 95%, it's reading 41.1 volts, 41.2, and then when I put it under load, it reads 39.6. I have 4 lights on my monitor. So what I want to do is run this to depletion and without any assist, or as little assist as possible. There are a couple of rules of engagement there. One is whether I'm pedalling or whether I'm not pedalling. Whenever I stop and start the vehicle again, whenever I start it again, I always pedal. There's no point in putting the motor through that stress when it's stationary to get you going, when a quick pedal will just get you up there and running, and the motor can then take over. So that's one. And the second one is it's only a 500 watt, so I will be assisting it up hills by pedalling if I need to. But the idea is to say, right, okay, how far can it go just on the battery? Now, it's 500 watt front hub with a 36 volt 20 amp hour battery, so 720 watts of gorgeousness, and we'll see how far it will take us. The route I've selected actually, and if I do this as a full long video, will take us through some beautiful areas of Berkshire. So I'm not just going to go round on the 1 mile circuit, because I'm hoping the lower end will be about 12 miles, and I'll be really pleased if I got 15. That would be excellent. I also have a voltmeter on here, so I've got a GPS system running, so every time it calls out the 1 mile mark, then 2 miles, then 3 miles, I'll take note of the voltage while the throttle's down, and then the voltage when the throttle is lifted up and no power is going through, so we see what recovery time the battery has. And I'd also I've got 4 lights showing capacity, so I'd like to know what voltage each of those lights as they go out where it is, and how many miles we get between each light. What else? Rules of engagement. Oh yeah, back to the course. I've gone on the Google Sphere, as it were, on the maps and all that, and I found a route that takes us out of Maidenhead and then through Hurley, over the Thames, up to Marlow, and I make a choice there whether to go over Winter Hill and back, depending on how much charge we've got left, or continue on to Bourne End and then through the lovely village of Cookham. So this will be a nice ride anyway. So if any of you are sitting there home bored and want to see some beautiful countryside on a lovely September day, and it's going to read about 27 degrees today, yeah, come along, it's cool, it'll be nice. That's if this camera doesn't play up. It's been giving me a bit of jip, i.e. overheating, and therefore giving really distorted images, or just shutting down for no reason. Right, giving it a little bit of a pedal up this hill, because it's needing it, and then I'll quickly pull over and just make sure that this is still recording. And then if it is, we'll get on our way. Okay, quick check. Seems to be. Now there is another reason why I've decided I took this route. I've lived in Maidenhead for, I don't know, 13, 14, 15, 17 years. And there's a notorious road called the A404, which for joggers, walkers...
Duration, 5 minutes 21 seconds. Distance, 1 mile, 12 calories burned. Pace, 5 minutes 20 seconds per mile.
Right, so 38.6 volts under a throttle. Lift the throttle up. 40.1 volts. And full 4 lights still. So that's the first mile. I expect it to drop off quite quickly under voltage in the first 2 or 3 miles, because that will be the very first bit of the discharge curve of the battery. So yeah, this A404 is notorious, a horrible road, and if you want to get to the other side, to Bisham and Marlow, you have to go over it. Now there are a couple of roundabouts which are sort of raised roundabouts, so only traffic coming on and off, but they're a long way, but the away from, you know, getting to Marlow. That main route is something called the Bisham roundabout, and that is horrible. I mean, I was there the other day just trying to get across it, and people, they go round there under full, they can see traffic coming from the right, so they just accelerate through there. And I had a Range Rover just sort of trying to have a laugh with me by doing about 60 at me. Not a lot of fun. However, when they built it, I think they split a farm in half, so they had to build a tunnel, a foot tunnel. And I've never bothered to find out where that foot tunnel is. And this route is supposed to use that tunnel to get under the A404. So that's going to be some fun, and hopefully we'll find that. And I hope you really enjoy the countryside we have around here, because if you live in a city or in a different country, I think it's quite special around here. A lot of National Trust area, so yeah, cool. Oh, one light gone, 38.5 volts. So, as I said, we haven't even got to 2 miles and the first light's gone out. But I'm expecting that, because the discharge curve of a 18650 battery drops rapidly at first, and then sort of about 38 to 36 volts chills right out and discharges about 70% of its energy over that period of time. So I'm not surprised with that. Right, let's go down to our local, which is the Golden Lion. No, it's not, it's the Golden Bull, indeed. So much for being a local.
Duration 8 minutes 42 seconds. Distance 2 miles, 19 calories burned. Pace 4 minutes 20 seconds per mile.
Right, so 38.5 volts with the throttle down, and we're covering to 39.7 at the moment. It should now just sort of stick around the next 2 volts for a good 10 miles or so, because the discharge curve flattens out a bit on the voltage while it gets rid of the amps. Right, hold on. Right, we're just going to go up here a little bit, and then we'll turn off again. So a bit of a main road at first. Main road from Maidenhead to Marlow, or to get from Maidenhead onto the A404 if you're heading north. I've sort of got half throttle on here, reading 38.8 volts, full. Yeah, it drops to 38.5 when I do full. So, but only need half throttle because we're on flat. And we should go into Lee Lane.
Duration 10 minutes 0 seconds. Distance 2.3 miles, 21 calories burned. Pace 4 minutes 21 seconds per mile.
I have resonance on the front with this wheel. It sort of comes in and goes out. You hear that squealing. That's resonance occurring from the hub motor. So I haven't been able to fix that, so I don't quite know what to do about that at the moment. But it's not that irritating for me. It was just a bit freaky. I have taken it out already on a number of little rides, short ones, sort of like 3 or 4 miles. But this is the first major test of the system as a whole, on a full range, full battery, and what it can do. Because it's nice to know how far you can go based on the number of lights you got. Currently reading 38.1. You know, so you're out there, it's raining, it's cold, it's miserable, you've got a hill, you've got to get home, and you know, you've got 2 lights up. Well, you know, if you know you can do 7 miles and it's 3 miles to home, you should be alright. And that makes me happy. Knowledge makes me happy.
Duration, 12 minutes 24 seconds. Distance, 3 miles, 27 calories burned. Pace, 4 minutes 7 seconds per mile.
Okay, off the throttle at the moment, so reading 39.2 off the throttle, but I'm going down a hill, so I don't know what throttle on will be, what voltage. But the last reading I had was 38.1. Let me just close it right down, and then... Yeah, 38. Okay, we'll accept 38. Somewhere down here should be the lane. I've got a map made with basically drawn in crayon, which is telling me where to go. So somewhat suspect faith in that. Okay, this road continues to the A404, and that's the road I'm talking about. I mean, that's the speed they do. Ugh, rubbish and crappy and horrible. Anyway, down here, will we find a tunnel? Paths I have not trodden or sickled. There it is. Excellent. That's brilliant. Right, I'm just going to save. Okay, still on 3 lights, on 38 exactly, as far as the voltage is concerned. That was cool. Right, now up here we should find the road to Hurley. Oh. This is it. This is my road to Hurley. So we've left Maidenhead, come under the A404. That was cool. Right, no assistance required here. Voltage is pretty good. 37.7 at the moment going up the hill there. It's obviously pulling a few more amps, dropping the voltage off. As I understand it, it's all about the watts. So amps times volts equals watts. So if you're asking for more torque by going up a hill, then your voltage will drop off to increase the amps.
Duration 17 minutes 23 seconds. Distance 4 miles. 41 calories burned. Pace 4 minutes 20 seconds per mile.
I got 37.8 on a slight incline, but for all intents and purposes I call it a flat, and that's 4 miles, which was the distance at an absolute push of my homemade 24 volt 5 amp hour battery. Yeah, going back to it, so you've got watts equals amps times volts. So if one goes up, the other one's got to go down, and vice versa. So if I'm asking for a lot of amps because I'm going uphill, then the volts drop right off. So if I'm on a flat at the moment, I'd run it at about 37.8, but going uphill as we are now, it's gone to 37.5. So the motor's requiring more amps to get up the hill, because that's your torque, that's your power. And your voltage, your speed, I guess, something like that, you know, for the pushing power it's got behind it, or something like that, I don't know. I just noticed that. Right, main road from Maidenhead to Henley. Just let this traffic go by. Sheeps! Ah, sheeps! Okay, here we go. Still on 3 lights. Oh, yes, Hurley. Here we go. This is a lovely little village on the Thames. Yeah, the thing is quite old as well. It's one of those.
Duration
for the
20
Americans,
minutes
it's like
0
old and new
seconds.
country.
Distance 4.7 miles. 49
and all
calories
that.
burned. Pace 4 minutes 16 seconds per mile.
Oh, what was that? Okay, I'll call it out anyway. 38.3 on no throttle and 37.5 volts at the moment. Still 3 lights. No throttle. 38.6. There you go. So I'm looking for something called Mill Lane, and that takes me out along the Thames path, I'm hoping.
Duration 21 minutes 9 seconds. Distance 5 miles. 53 calories burned. Pace 4 minutes 13 seconds per mile.
Okay, so that's the 5 mile mark, 37.2. And here's Mill Lane. So there's an old, this is an old, to the left, there's an old abbey, a monk's abbey. I mean, that's like stupidly old, 1,000 years or something. So no public access that way. Where's my pathway go then? It's got to go off to the right somewhere, so... Okay. Heading towards the lock. Hello.
Hello.
Do you want to squeeze past?
Thank you.
Ah, a lock. Right. Disembark. Oh. Cool. This is the River Thames, obviously the lock area.
There's a coffee shop underneath that, so. Okay, thanks a
Okay.
lot.
Not really sure, but I think it's the other, that lot coffee shop, if I remember my crayon map correctly, was the other side. Okay, we're going back over. Oh, okay, I think we're going to pick up the path further along. Bit of a cesspool over here. Oh, I'm going to have to get off here. I can't get up that. Oh. The Thames is a really beautiful river. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for the Thames. I like it. Okay, a quick save point, as they say in the games. It's all right. Thank you. Hey guys. People out enjoying the river, of course. This is great. What a route. Talking of routes, these are massive. Ouch. Hiya. Thank you. Now, if I'm right, I think this path you can continue on. We're not, we're going to go left over the bridge, but you can. Oh, roots. Massive roots. Big old trees. Hiya. This goes on to Temple Island, which is the other side of Marlow, over the bridge and over the Thames. The bags come open. Hold on. There we go.
Duration 29 minutes 18 seconds. Distance 6 miles, 80 calories burned. Pace 4 minutes 52 seconds per mile.
Okay.
And we have 3 lodges.
Thank
and
you.
So one of the girls was camping.
Okay, recovered voltage is 38.1 on that last call out. Let's just see what the voltage is under load. Oh, okay, here we go, under load. Okay, got 36.7. Yeah. Thank you. Right. Hey, second lock. River must drop quite a bit here. I mean, each lock is what? Oh, I don't know, 5 meters, 4 meters, something like that. So, quite a drop. And there's a huge weir there. Hopefully you can see that. Anyway, let's crack on. Time is ticking. Oh, 2 lights now at 36.8. Yep, 2 lights, 36.8. So we've just lost another one. They're not bad little paths, are they? For cycling on, getting round. We go to Kestrel. .36.6. Yeah, as I lift the throttle off, the obviously less power is required, or called for, I should say, and the voltage goes up. So currently no throttle and it's 37.9. So I think when I graph it up, I'm going to actually graph up both numbers. Yeah, I think my crayon says map says to go down here. So come on, let's do it. Ow, stinging nettles. Whoa. Oh, that hurt. Yeah, shorts, not a great idea. Oh, I'm gonna get stung to buggery. Get off, get off. Ow. Ugh. Thinking about using this as a commute bike and on my job, I think I'm gonna need two. I'm gonna need this one for a laugh and going a bit off-roady, but in the winter I can't really do this. And the other thing is, because I do computers for local businesses and home, sometimes I have to bring that computer home to fix it because, you know, the routines and that take so long, like checking disks and doing all those sorts of things, or full malware sweeps, deep cleaning, that sort of stuff. And I can't really bring a PC home on this. I've already done it a couple of times with laptops and that really works well. Like I delivered one to, ow, yeah, that side. I delivered one back to Bray, which is about 5 miles away from where I live. So that was a 10-mile round trip, which was brilliant. And on this bike it worked, ow, sod off. Oh God, they're gonna be red as hell. Yeah, so I can't do it with a PC though. So I'm thinking, about, go with me on this and comment if you like, a cargo bike, a three-wheeler, you know, like the European Dutch jobs, either with a basket at the front and two wheels or one at the back, and then put a hub on it, a rear hub motor on there, and make that sort of a real workhorse. Because in the winter, brilliant, it'd be fine. I can just have all my stuff, all my wet weather gear in there, like poncho and all that, all on it, and I don't have to. No one's going to nick a bloody cargo bike, are they? Well, especially if I make it as ratty as this one. Where are we? Yeah. Well, we're just sort of ticking along on this bit because it's quite bangy bang bang. Ow.
Duration 35 minutes 23 seconds. Distance 7 miles, 102 calories burned. Pace 5 minutes 3 seconds per mile.
Okay, so what we've got there is no throttle is 37.6. Look where you're going, Mark. Ooh. Okay, and throttle, which we'll do now for a bit, is 36.4. 2 lights, 36.4, 7 miles. So I'm halfway. I've still got 2 lights. Let me do it. Thank you. So yeah, halfway. Still got 2 lights. Don't know how much of this third light I'm through. Third light as in 2 already gone. And what's left in the battery? Oh. Yeah, so I had to do the battery bag back up because it seems to be coming undone. So I have to check, watch that. Maybe I have to put a little bit of string on it just to hold it. A little clip or something. So that's good. Oh yeah, 36.3 now, pulling away. And 2 lights. So if my low end would be, as I said, 12 miles, then I've done 7 and I've still got 2 lights. So that's looking good at the moment. But if I'm not over halfway through this next lights or capacity bit, then that's looking really good, because that could be 7, 14, 15 miles, which would be the upper end of my expectation. So it's really about when this next light goes out and what mileage we're at. That was nice of him. He didn't have to. Thank you. Or her, sorry. Yeah, had to. No bloke would have done that, I'm sure. Right, let's save any footage we got. It's always good to do this on this phone since it's giving me a bit of jip. Temperature's good. Everything's cool. Okay. Right. I actually don't know where I am. I don't recognise it, and I come here quite often. Oh, I know where we are. Oh, okay. I thought that went to the park. I didn't even notice there was a road there. Just shows you how observant I am. Now, do we go on to Bourne End? We have 2 lights. Become 7 miles. Bourne End.
Duration 40 minutes 0 seconds. Distance 7.9 miles. 117 calories burned. Pace 5 minutes 5 seconds per mile.
It's a choice here now. Tell you what, we'll go up Quarry to give it a real test on the hill, and then we'll go to Cookham that way rather than going to. Okay, so this is Marlow. It's a very beautiful little town. Again, been around forever. And this is Marlow Suspension Bridge. Quite a bit of money around here, as you can gather. Okay, this is Quarry Road, and we will be going back on the A404, but through a underpass. Should be coming up to 8 miles. surprised it hasn't piped up. $35.9 volts at the moment. Oh, one light now. Right, so that's 36 volts, 35.9, 35.8, and I got one light. One light left. Throttle off is 36.9 volts. Car behind me, I'll get off the road. Gonna go up a steep hill. Oh no, let's come back. Oh, the two lights have come up again. That I don't get. Maybe I just misread that. Now these are very exclusive houses along Thames here. Obviously they are all attached. You'll get an idea further up in a moment what these are like. Going up a slight hill.
Duration 44 minutes 35 seconds. Distance 9 miles, 126 calories burned. Pace 4 minutes 57 seconds per mile.
Voltage reads 35.5 and up a hill now. Right up on my feet here. Full throttle. It is needing massive amounts of assist. I'm standing on these pedals. This is really steep. But the thing is, there's absolutely no way I could do this. I mean, you haven't seen me. I'm 87 kilos. I'm a little overweight. Although my wife pretends to humour me and say I'm losing it. There you go. Whoa. Okay, off that a bit. And back up. I might actually have to get off. Come on. Motor can do a bit of work now. Come on. Okay, drop to 35 volts. Oh no. We're going down again. Which means ultimately we have to go back up. Yeah, as I was saying, really exclusive properties. Some, I will have to admit, slightly out of my ballpark. And I have no shame in saying that. No, I did misread that. It's still on two lights. So what we'll do is we'll go along Winter Hill Ridgeback. I call it the Ridgeback. And basically what it is is it looks right out over the countryside. We'll stop there briefly and have a quick look, but that'll be nice. .3. We're on 9 miles. 3 miles off Marlow Town. Was that an elephant? Okay. Interesting. Come on, another hill. Giving it a bit of assist. Going up. There's absolutely no way I could do this on my own. And that's the joy. When you're not particularly fit, getting fit on a bike, when there's hills like this, you can't get out of Maidenhead without doing a hill. So it just ends up hurting. You know? But with an electric bike, you can ease yourself in a bit. It doesn't have to hurt. Go a long way. Ooh. And give
Duration 50 minutes.
Okay, well, I don't know what happened there. The camera stopped and the phone went dead. Even the fact there was 20% in there, so as I said, it's going to be a bit jip. I've resumed the workout. It's slightly wrong. It's got a 9.82 miles. I know I've gone further than that because I must have shut down up in the hills. Anyway, we'll see. 35 volts. And I'll do the calculations from now on in and see where we are and add the extra mileage from the maps. But it should still give us a good graph at the end.
Duration 51 minutes 14 seconds. Distance 10 miles, 148 calories burned. Pace 5 minutes 7 seconds per mile.
35.2 volts. And 36.1 throttle up. .9, 35. So if we're doing about a mile every 5 minutes, that's what, 12 miles an hour averaging. Yeah, and that's off-road, that's all terrain, different terrains and up and down and 12 mile an hour average. 35.2 on the straight. And flat. Oh, I'll go off here. Right, so welcome back to Maidenhead. Let me just see if it's still
Duration,
recording.
54
well,
minutes,
hopefully it
18
is.
seconds. Distance, 11 miles,
11 miles.
148 calories burned. Pace, 4 minutes, 56 seconds per mile.
Okay, so that's 34.7 volts. Speeding me up. Volts. What I think I'm going to do, for fairness as well, 35 volts, is I'm going to do this route, but the opposite way. And that will allow me to take into account elevation, stuff like that, and to see whether hard climbs and then gentle strips make any difference in battery usage. Because it could, and I think it probably would. You know.
Duration, 58 minutes 13 seconds. Distance, 12 miles, 153 calories burned. Pace, 4 minutes 51 seconds per mile.
Okay, throttle on, 34.5. 34.5. Now I know each cell, they sort of say 3.2 is your limit. Volts per cell, so that means I can go down to 32 volts, but I suspect that the BMS won't let it go that far. We will see. chicken out and go for the bigger bridge. Right. God, everybody's going electric. Right, thank you.
Duration 60 minutes 0 seconds. Distance 12.3 miles, 159 calories burned. Pace 4 minutes 52 seconds per mile.
Well, got the lower end so far. That's good. Battery's a bit low, 34.4. I think that's probably getting close to its limit. Flying on that. And remember, there was that cutout, so I suspect I've done 13 roughly, depending on where it was. I'll work that out, as I said. Oh my god, the bag's come undone again. I'm definitely going to have to get a clip on that. That's listening right off. Let me just... Is that battery not sitting right? Okay, keep going. Okay. Okay, so we are close to the end. About 13 miles. A little bit back in this one, actually it's not a lot. There we go, stop again. Still got that one light on. I'd like to finish this with a bit of countryside. Let's do that. Right. Right, I'm half throttle and it's gone up to 35.3 volts. 35.2. Because I'm on the flat, and so
Duration 64 minutes 8 seconds. Distance 13 miles, 170 calories burned.
okay, well it's creeping
Pace
towards
4
my
minutes 55 seconds per
upper
mile.
wish when it comes to it. This does 15 miles. That'd be awesome. It needs one more mile, I reckon. I reckon when the camera went off, we were looking at about a mile in between the two, because we didn't get the 10 mile. I don't think we got the 10 mile reading. Can't remember. And remember, this is not a full battery. This started at 90 odd percent, 41.5 volts. Oh, ow. Some of these roads are worse than the ones I've been on for, you know. Now we can go along here. Well, I'm going to be, I think I'm going to commute on this as much as I can do in my job, replace the car. I can do it with laptops, so that's just a phone call. Dear Mr. Customer, is it a laptop or a PC? If it's a laptop, I can take minimal gear in a laptop, in a rucksack thing, and just use this. I'll be putting up how I actually do that, because unlike a lot of the YouTube videos where the guys have got electric bikes, they replace their car, but they go from A to B, and B is where their workplace is. They then spend 7 hours there, and then go home again. So they've got, you know, all night to charge a battery, and then they've got all day to charge the battery, and then go home again. So they can, you know, really have it quite easy that way. In my job, I may have two or three clients a day. They're in different areas. They're not all strung together. So that's going to take some planning. I need to find the best routes from different areas of Maidenhead to other areas of Maidenhead, to go from one appointment to another, or at least one appointment and then go home again, and then go out again. So there's a chance for me to charge in between those sometimes. So that would be down to calendar planning of appointments on what days. I'm probably going to split Maidenhead up into sort of quadrants and work out the best and most fun cycle routes there. And how to get from, you know, one quadrant to another as safely as possible. Try and not go on the, or have alternative routes for sort of spring, summer, and then autumn, winter, because they'll get muddy and stuff, some of them. But like today, we've seen them pretty bone dry. That makes a big difference. What else? Yeah, so I'm going to take this through the winter, see how I get on with that.
Duration 67 minutes 42 seconds. Distance 14 miles.
Oh, that's got to be it.
185 calories burned. Pace 4 minutes 50 seconds per mile.
That's, sorry, 34.1 volts. And that light's still on, solid. Yeah, so go back to that. This I'm going to use through the winter. See how much I can use it. I'm going to try, I'll obviously do video some of the routes that I'm doing, because they're spectacular, they're brilliant, they're really lovely routes around here. So I'm going to be discovering some more of those on this. Yeah, think about that cargo bike. I'm wondering whether 1,000 watts should be next at 48 volts. Primarily so I can get distance. I need distance. I think if I can do 15 on this, 16 maybe, I don't know yet. So that's 14, so that's got to be sort of 14 and a half, 15 miles now. So that's the top end of my my wants, really, out of this. That's brilliant. Assisted, I don't know yet. I've sort of got this was sort of designed to do 25 miles assisted. That was the idea behind it, because most of my clients are within 3 or 4 miles. Some of them are 5, so that would be 10, so that would be one appointment, half my battery voltage. So the idea was to do 20 on average, and the others can then be sort of 2, 3, 4 miles. So that's the idea there. Right, I'm going to start the mile loop because we've still got a battery light. Let's do this. Now on this mile loop, you saw, oh, there's a rat there, poor sod. You saw me do it on eBike 1, version 1. And that's the same route I'm going to do. And to save the battery, as soon as you start flashing, there's a cut through at about half a mile point. that allows me to cycle back home with relative ease. It's pretty flat, and I don't
Duration,
have to
70 minutes 0 seconds. Distance, 14.5 miles.
That's another half mile
194 calories burned. Pace,
So
4
even with
minutes
that
49
dropout,
seconds per
we
mile.
could be looking at 15 miles. So what the real one is, I'll have to calculate on the map when I do the video, and I'll show you the bit it cut out and the distance on Google Maps, so you can see exactly how many miles this little sub did. I have to admit, I'm really chuffed. 33.9 miles at 14 and a half. Sorry, 33.9 volts at 13 and a half miles. No, 14 and a half miles. Don't lose a mile, man. It's important. Oh, hello, we've got another leak. Ugh. Oh, yeah, mud guards required. Better ones. One broke off. Oh, we've got a flash. There it goes, 34.4 volts under pressure. So that's it. So whatever that extra is, I reckon we're going to call it 15. Because I've got to go all the way home yet. I'm just going to go up this last hill and then I'll call it on the battery. Let's call it 35.12 with no, and it's flashy, flashy, flashy. That's it. So I'm just going to coast. Well, that's it. That's the range test. Next bit, I'll show you a graph and stuff. If you're not interested in that, thanks for watching. And like and subscribe if you like what I'm doing. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a lot of fun. And see me tackle a winter. Or give up and not tackle a winter. Who knows? Bye.
Duration, 72 minutes 7 seconds. Distance, 15 miles.
Yes, there it
200
is.
calories
There it is.
burned. Pace,